Hey everyone, welcome back to the Holistic Hive. Today we're talking about one of the hottest plant-based trends out there, oat milk. Yep, that stuff that somehow managed to make everyone forget about almonds, soy, and basically any other non-dairy milk. It's creamy, it's neutral, it's often marketed as saving the planet one latte at a time. But is it really? And what's the deal with rapeseed oil? That sneaky ingredient they toss in there? How Gen Z is ditching bars for gyms? And how Kellogg's is under fire. Welcome to the Holistic Hive. I'm Tina Sorensen, and each week I dig into the latest wellness buzz from the news and share my unfiltered thoughts and opinions. Join me every Tuesday for a dose of snarky humor, the latest in wellness trends, my current obsessions, and of course, a recipe or wellness tip to inspire your journey. This episode of the Holistic Hive is brought to you by me, the Wellness Blondie. If you're passionate about natural remedies, holistic wellness, and delicious whole food recipes, head over to the Wellness Blondie blog for inspiring content to nurture your mind, body, and soul. Before we dive in, I want to share that my mocktail mixology recipe book is now available on Amazon, packed with creative, flavorful, non-alcoholic drinks perfect for any occasion. From refreshing summer sips to cozy winter blends. Also, don't miss my cookbook, Nourish and Thrive, your go-to guide for a vibrant whole foods lifestyle with over 100 recipes and a 28-day meal plan. It's designed to make healthy eating enjoyable and effortless, with tips to help you build sustainable habits and savor every bite along the way. Both books are available now on Amazon. Just type Mocktail Mixology or Nourish and Thrive into the search bar or click the links in the show notes. Before we dive in, let's chat about my current obsession. All right, my current obsession, red light therapy. I stumbled upon this gem last year, and now it's basically a non-negotiable in my wellness routine. I first tried it at a health spa along with the infrared sauna, and let me tell you, I was hooked. But the monthly cost? Yeah, not so much. So, in true DIY fashion, I decided to invest in my own setup at home. And now, I can bask in all that healing light whenever I want. Now let's get to the good stuff. Red light and near-infrared therapy are like the secret weapon for your skin and overall health. They're known for boosting collagen, reducing inflammation, speeding up muscle recovery, and even improving sleep quality. It's like a wellness powerhouse that's totally worth the hype. Have any of you tried red light therapy? I'd love to hear about your experiences and any tips you might have. Tag me on social so I can check out your responses. Now, let's dive into our news segment for today. I came across some really interesting articles about bars are falling out of favor among younger generations, the resurgence of good old cow's milk, and Kellogg under fire from Vani Hari's recent protest. These caught my attention because it signifies a major shift in our society's relationship with food and drink. With more people prioritizing their health and well-being, especially in light of recent conversations around mental health, it is fascinating to see how Gen Z is redefining social norms and choosing healthier lifestyle options. Plus, it's a great reminder that you can still enjoy socializing without a drink in hand. Talk about a win-win. Now, I've been avoiding non-dairy alternatives for ages, but after dealing with some serious hive breakouts from various dairy products, my last holdout against inflammatory foods has to go. Cue the dramatic music. Yes, I'm bummed beyond belief. Cheese is basically a food group for a Wisconsinite. So now I'm experimenting with goat's milk. I need some kind of creamer for my morning cup of joe, and I've learned way too much about how plant-based milks can also cause inflammation. So really, what's the point of ditching one potential irritant only to replace it with another? Here's to hoping goat's milk is the answer. Now, on to Oatly, which we all know is the oat milk king. Says their milk has a way lower climate impact than cow's milk. They also claim that rapeseed oil is one of the best oils available for your health and that it doesn't spike blood sugar. Sounds like a dream come true, right? But as with anything that sounds too good, there's a little more to the story. Wellness influencers are starting to throw shade at oat milk, saying it's too starchy, packed with inflammatory seed oils, and may even be the cause behind some of those pesky breakouts. That's right, your oat milk latte could be the villain in your skincare routine. Who knew? Non-dairy milks can be a total lifesaver for anyone who's lactose intolerant or allergic to dairy, giving you a plant-based option that fits nicely into your life. But, and there's always a but, even though they seem like the perfect swap, they're often hiding some less than healthy secrets, and a lot of them are packed with synthetic vitamins and emulsifiers. Yum, right? Emulsifiers, in case you didn't know, are those sneaky little additives that keep the ingredients from separating because our almond, oat, and soy milks like to throw temper tantrums if left alone. These include lectins, guar gum, and carrageenan, all designed to give your non-dairy milk that smooth, creamy texture we all love. But guess what? Research suggests they might mess with your gut health. Yep, you heard that right. Your beloved oat milk could be partying a little too hard in your microbiome, causing inflammation and digestive issues. The FDA says they're safe in small amounts, but for those of us chasing optimal gut health, maybe less is more. Oh, and let's not forget the synthetic vitamins that these companies just toss in like confetti. They might look good on the label, fortified with calcium and vitamin D, but synthetic versions like vitamin D2 aren't always as bioavailable, meaning your body doesn't absorb them as well as the real thing. And who knows, down the road we might find out that having too much of these synthetic additives isn't exactly a win for our long-term health. All right, let's talk about that rapeseed oil they keep throwing into oat milk, also known as canola oil, because marketing wizards realized rapeseed wasn't the most appealing name. Is it really as healthy as they say? Well, here's the tea. Most canola oil out there is super refined. We're talking high heat, chemical extraction, and a process that strips away pretty much anything good. You might even get some trans fats in there for fun. So, if you want to keep things healthy, look for a cold pressed or expeller pressed version. While rapeseed oil has some omega-3s, it's heavy on the omega-6s. And guess what? We already got way too much of those in our diets. Too many omega-6s can fuel inflammation, which is something we can all do without. So let's balance it out with some omega-3 rich foods like salmon, chia seeds, or heck, just drink some flaxseed oil if you're feeling brave. Most rapeseed crops are genetically modified. Now, I'm not here to say GMOs are the devil, but if you're not into that, look for organic or non-GMO labels and sleep better at night. Oh, and let's not forget, most processed oils, canola included, can contribute to inflammation, and inflammation is linked to pretty much every modern health issue you don't want. Heart disease, diabetes, certain cancers. So yeah, skip the overly processed stuff. And let's not sugarcoat this. The nutritional content of most of these plant-based milks is, well, let's say lacking. They typically have less protein and way more sugar. Yeah, oat milk, we're looking at you. That starchy goodness might taste great, but it's also spiking blood sugar like a 5-year-old on a Halloween candy. And with very little protein to help balance it out, translation, not so great for your health. Meanwhile, good old cow's milk is not full of emulsifiers or inflammatory oils. And let's be real here. Unless you're lactose intolerant, cow's milk is like the overachiever of the dairy world. High quality protein, naturally occurring vitamins, and no need for a lab coat to read the ingredient list. There's no shake well before drinking because the milk and the nutrients just show up ready to go. It's like, hey girl, I got you. No chemistry set required. But speaking of healthy choices, it seems like Gen Z is leading the charge when it comes to ditching alcohol and choosing the gym over the pub. Yep, gyms are becoming the new hotspot. Who needs a pint when you can bond over burpees, right? According to a poll by the Gym Group, 37% of people are now using exercise as a way to socialize. That's right, the new let's grab a drink is now let's grab a kettlebell. And honestly, I'm here for it. 23% of 18 to 24-year-olds said their core motivation to exercise is socializing with friends. And I get it. There's nothing like sweating it out with your bestie, followed by a smoothie that costs as much as a cocktail, but at least doesn't give you a hangover. Now, Gen Z, bless them, are all about their mental and physical health. They're the ones putting their disposable income into fitness instead of throwing it away at the bar, which is pretty refreshing. This shift has been happening for the past decade as more people wake up to the real cost of alcohol, not just financially, but mentally. It's like, wow, maybe destroying my liver every weekend isn't the best self-care routine. Who knew? Wish I did. And it's not just fitness. Nightlife itself is changing. More places are offering healthier food options and a wider range of non-alcoholic drinks. Yay, mocktails! Along with activities like dancing and competitive socializing. Yes, that's a thing now. Apparently, you can skip the shots and play some giant Jenga instead. As someone who's all about wellness and raising kids, this shift feels exciting. It's like we're heading back to a time when we actually took care of our bodies, not just physically, but mentally, which, let's be honest, has kind of gone down the drain ever since social media started throwing constant garbage at us, stressing us out for no good reason. So here's to Gen Z for leading the charge back to sanity. Now, speaking of major shifts in what we consume, let's talk about Kellogg. Back in 2015, they pledged to remove artificial dyes from their foods by 2018. Spoiler alert, that hasn't happened yet. While they've made some changes to their formulas in other countries, like coloring Froot Loops in Canada with concentrated carrot juice, watermelon juice, and blueberry juice, here in the US, it's a different story, where those pesky artificial colors still reign supreme. So let's break it down. What are artificial food dyes? They are synthetic colors used to enhance the appearance of food, making it more visually appealing. What foods have these dyes in them? You'll find them lurking in everything from candies and cereals to beverages and even some salad dressings. But here's the kicker. What has research said about these food dyes? Buckle up, babes, because it's a wild ride. Studies have linked artificial food dyes to a laundry list of health concerns, and let's just say it's not a short one. Behavioral issues like ADD and ADHD are at the top of that list. I mean, as someone whose husband and son both have ADHD, this really hits home for me. You could say it feels a bit like playing a game of Guess Who, but with symptoms and triggers instead of cartoon characters. And let's not forget about multiple chemical sensitivity. Yep, that's my personal party crasher. For those who aren't in the know, MCS is when your body has a not-so-friendly reaction to various chemicals in the environment, including those lovely artificial dyes. So while my family is over here trying to manage ADHD with a sprinkle of natural remedies, we're also dodging the colorful grenades lurking in our food. It's like a bizarre scavenger hunt in the grocery store, and trust me, it's exhausting. Research suggests that these dyes might not just be responsible for turning our foods into Technicolor dreams, but could also be making our kids bouncier than a spring-loaded pogo stick on a sugar high. Some studies even propose a link between these additives and increased hyperactivity, which makes sense. If you're stuffing your face with a rainbow of artificial colors, it's like adding extra fuel to a fire. Who needs caffeine when you can have a bowl of Fruity Pebbles? So what's the takeaway here? We need to be more mindful about what's on our plates and in our bowls. Is that neon green snack really worth the potential chaos it could unleash? I mean, as a mom, I already have enough to manage without adding sugar-fueled tornado to my list of daily challenges. It's about time we start asking ourselves if those vibrant hues are enhancing our meals or just playing tricks on our taste buds. Maybe it's time to focus more on the nutrients and flavor profiles rather than making our food look like it just stepped off a carnival ride. After all, who needs to play Russian roulette with food dyes when we can savor the rich, authentic flavors of whole, real foods? Let's embrace the beauty of simplicity, folks. Our bodies and minds will thank us. It's time we start asking ourselves, are those vibrant hues worth the potential risks? In short, it might be time to give up the rainbow for a plate full of wholesome goodness. Let's ditch the artificial dyes and focus on what really matters, nourishing our bodies. And guess what? You can make a change right from your kitchen without having to join the protests or wave picket signs. Just stop buying those foods loaded with all that crap. If we all collectively give these products the cold shoulder, companies will have no choice but to take notice. Eventually, their artificial colors and questionable ingredients will either become extinct or change due to a serious loss of revenue. So let's show them we mean business, one grocery cart at a time. Who knew being health conscious could be so impactful? Now go on, fill that cart with real whole foods and watch as the rainbow fades away, replaced with vibrant colors of fresh fruits and veggies. Your body and taste buds will thank you. And now, for the final segment of today's episode, I want to share a quick wellness tip or recipe that you can try at home. And if you'd like to be featured on the podcast, send me your favorite recipes or wellness tips, and I'll be sure to share them on an upcoming episode. This week, I'm focusing on reading before bed, and let me tell you, it's becoming my favorite part of my evening routine. Picture this. I turn on my red light therapy, because who doesn't want to channel their inner superhero while combating fine lines? Slap on my skincare like I'm prepping for a high-stakes mission, and then crawl into bed with my trusty book or Kindle. Yep, that's right. I'm getting my glow on while indulging in some good old-fashioned literary escapism. Now let's talk about the benefits of reading. Whether you're flipping through the pages of a physical book or swiping on your Kindle, reading is like giving your brain a delightful little workout. It improves cognitive function, reduces stress, and, bonus, can even help you sleep better. Just make sure to switch that Kindle screen to yellow and throw on some blue light blocking glasses. Otherwise, you might as well be trying to sleep under a disco ball. Trust me, I've seen what happens when you ignore the blue light warnings. It's a real party in there, and not the fun kind. Now, speaking of books, here are a few I devoured recently. Behind Closed Doors. Absolutely fascinating, a real page turner that had me questioning everything I knew. Then there's The Hive by Greg Olson, Love Her to Death by M. William Phelps, and The Locked Door by Frida McFadden. Yes, mostly crime thrillers, but if you know me, you know that is the genre that fits me like a glove. After all, who doesn't love a good plot twist with their nightly skincare routine? Of course, there's always the challenge of trying to read while my husband insists on talking to me when I'm getting ready for bed. I mean, come on. There's a time for chit-chat, and it's not when I'm trying to wind down. So I give him that side eye that says, shut the fuck up, it's wind down time. Seriously, is it too much to ask for a little peace while I immerse myself in tales of crime and intrigue? Between the red light therapy, my skincare routine, and a killer book, I'm just trying to create the perfect atmosphere for some relaxation. So here's to cozying up with a good read and kicking the nighttime distractions to the curb. I hope you give it a try and enjoy the benefits. If you do, let me know how it pans out or any fun tweaks you make. Don't forget to tag me on social so I can see your beautiful results. That's it for today's episode of Holistic Hive. I hope today's episode sparked some inspiration, brought you fresh insight, or at least gave you a little boost to get you through the rest of your day without feeling like a hot mess. And hey, if you're loving the podcast, or even if you're mildly entertained, why not drop a quick rating and review on your favorite platform? It'd mean the world to me and also help more wellness lovers find us, which is basically like spreading good vibes, but with less granola and more real talk. Your feedback helps others find their way to this hive and join this wellness journey. Thanks in advance for making me feel like a podcast rock star. Don't forget to follow me on social media for more updates, tips, and behind-the-scenes content. You can find all the links to my profiles along with more information and resources over on my website. And if you're looking for even more exclusive content or just want to support the show, be sure to check out my Patreon page. Thanks a ton for tuning in. Until next time, keep nourishing your mind, body, and soul. Because let's face it, someone's got to. And remember, we're all buzzing through this wellness journey together, so don't sweat it if you trip over a few bee stings along the way. Sayonara.